now, the Illawarra Hawks. They're the benchmark so far. They're the ones setting the pace. From deep again. Oh, vintage Tyler Harvey.
Darius Days with another big hit. He's plenty good at that. Who's really announcing himself in Hawks colours.
He has caused mayhem inside the jungle. The Ned Stars putting on a show. The kids of the competition. No Bryce Cotton. No worries.
The high-flying Illawarra Hawks are an offensive juggernaut, and they are right now one of the most watchable teams here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Home or away, they are the real deal. And tonight, they take on a Perth Wildcats team who are still without Bryce Cotton, but the equal opportunity offense that we saw last week seemed to work for John Riley and the Perth Wildcats in the absence of their superstar. And tonight, history made as Jesse Wagstaff equals the all-time games record for the Perth Wildcats. Hello and welcome to RAC, a Red Company for a Friday night doubleheader. This is game 2 as the Wildcats play host to the Hawks. I'm Jack Heverin, championship winners alongside me and Damon Lowry and Pete Hooley. Damon, welcome to you. There's the Mitsubishi Motors ladder, and Perth Wildcats kind of worked it out last week without Bryce.
They did, thanks, Jack. Yeah, man, the Perth, they got it done by committee, and that's what they're going to have to do. With relying so heavily on Bryce in the past, now everybody else is freed up. Now, we saw Keanu Pinder go absolutely ham last game. Hopefully, he can just back that up with another solid performance.
So their numbers shooting the 3-ball, Pete Hooley, aren't great. Their offensive rebounds are excellent, and that man was a force last week.
Yeah, he was, and again, I think that's with no Bryce Cotton. He had a short leash so far this season. Any mistake, any missed shot, turnovers, and he sat down. Without Bryce, he's going to get that longer leash and a chance to play through mistakes. But normally when you take out a key piece like Bryce Cotton, what does a team do? They're going to shoot a lot of threes. They have struggled. They're the worst team in the league in terms of three-point field goal percentage in general, but this man could not be stopped against the Sydney Kings, and I hope they go to him early. I hope they go to him often.
They made him a priority, Damon, and he responded.
He is. He's an all-NBL type player when he's up and about. He's had a few injuries that slowed him down a little bit, lost a little bit of confidence in himself, but you can see last game how lively he was. Dunks like that help him get going. He starts dancing, he's flexing. We see you, Keanu, just bag it up.
The Illawarra Hawks have been a phenomenon this year when it comes to scoring the basketball, Pete. Their offensive rating is the best in the competition, and it's the best by some way. They're so clinical at that end of the floor.
Well, they are, and it's any given night, it's a different player, right? You just look at the start. Trey Kell was terrific. I know he's going to be injured in this one, but then Tyler Harvey has his games. Darius Days has his games. Sam Froling will do it. They have guys off the bench like Will Hickey, Hyungjong Lee. It's incredible what they're doing, and have a look at this in terms of what stands out to me is not so much the equal points, it's the minutes side of it. They've got their rotation set. Right now, Trey Kell's out, which throws a bit out of whack, but they've got their 8 players that they play with, knowing this is the team we want going forward. That's all you need to play in the NBL.
And all those guys, they're happy with those minutes. Nobody is pouting on the bench. Nobody's wondering when it's going to be their turn. They are solid in their roles, and they all buying into each other. Great all-around team.
The Australian Boomers squad was announced a couple of days ago. There are 3 Illawarra Hawks in that squad, which is fantastic. A couple of really good stories that we'll explore across the match. But Sam Froling in that squad, Damon, and on the back of an outstanding season so far, but in particular his last 4 games.
Sam Froling, and obviously we got Davo Hickey, Lachlan Albrick. It's good to see the Hawks represented. But Sam, this is his second crack in the Boomer squad. He's trying to make a major championship, either a World Cup or Olympics, obviously. And the other guys, like I said with Davo Hickey, I got to spend some time with in the Asia Cup 3x3, won the gold medal, and his star is rising. Kangaroo and Lachlan Albrick, who's obviously got the NBA in his sights.
Sam Froling is there, Pete, as we said, and his numbers really stack up. Before the start of this season, there was a bit of discussion around, is he ready now to become one of the premium big men in the competition and put up the numbers week in, week out that we've come to expect? He's getting pretty close.
Well, he is, but I think it's more so that the way this team was then built is they don't need that 1 or 2. They don't need a Batman and Robin because they all do it by committee. It can be anyone on any given night, as we said, and I think that's the best part. If they want to win a championship, he's going to be at his very best because there's elite big men around in the competition.
Courtside at RAC Arena, a very special night we mentioned for Jesse Wagstaff. We'll get to that shortly, but Annalie Maley is on the spot, ready to go. WNBL MVP, Olympian, and all-around good human. Annalie, good evening to you.
Oh, what's up, guys? The stadium's absolutely buzzing. Love that intro, by the way. It made me feel really good about myself. So we have Bryce out, which means Ty Webster back in. It'll be nice to see him back on the floor. And with Trey Kell out, Dave O'Hickey's making a start. Like you guys said, fresh off that Boomers selection, he's going to be buzzing, much like this crowd. Back to you guys.
Great work, Annalie. Great to have you with us tonight as well. The Will Hickey story, Damon, it grows and grows and grows. We just saw him in the Australian Boomers lineup. Now we're seeing him starting for the Illawarra Hawks. I reckon everyone in the league, everyone in Australian basketball is barracking for this guy.
The fan club, the line that is the Will Hickey fan club, I'm in it. I'm right up the front of it, too. He does everything the right kind of way. His spirit is infectious. As soon as he got to the Hawks and got given an opportunity, you could already tell that he was going to reward you. He's that kind of guy that if you believe in him, he will run through a brick wall for you. And he fills up the stat sheet. He blocks shots. He picks up the ball full court. He offensive rebounds. He's just an all-around good basketball player.
There was a time where certain records you never thought would be broken. And I must admit, the 482 games that Ricky Grace played for the Perth Wildcats, I don't think there was a time where a lot of Perth fans thought that that would ever be broken. But tonight, that man on screen, Jesse Wagstaff, the ring collector, the 6-time NBL champion, equals Ricky Grace's record.
It's an incredible achievement. Had the pleasure of writing a feature about it with a lot of words said on a Dribble podcast about his former teammates, former coaches. And again, you can measure greatness in so many different ways when you're talking about athletes. And it can be championships, it can be statistics, individual accolades, all of that as we have a look at the starting fives. But he is a little bit of that and so much more, the ultimate teammate. And again, it's a credit to him and how he's been able to influence winning for so long. That's what John really said, and that's spot on.
Great article, that one. Also read something during the week where Jesse said, I haven't really had a chance to think about it too much. That probably sums him up, Damon.
Very humble, very understated, doesn't want all the spotlight on him. Just that team guy, like you were saying. And everybody would love to have a teammate like Jesse. He's obviously in the twilight of his career, but he's still contributing. These are not charity minutes that John really is giving him. He's still a key piece. If you leave him open, he'll make the 3-ball. He's cagey around the basket, knows how to use his body on defense. Just an all-around good player. It's good to see Jesse being celebrated like this.
He's got a lot of family and friends in the house tonight. He'll get the chance to break the record when Southeast Melbourne are their opponents on Sunday at John Cain Arena. These Illawarra Hawks, Pete, I said off the top, home or away, it doesn't seem to matter. They've won their last 4 on the road, which is such a tough thing to do in this competition.
Yeah, it is. And again, they're just playing with a different vibe. I know they lost to Melbourne United back at home, but the way they go about it, forced to be reckoned with an NBL25.
Mark Grist, James Gregool and Chris Reed are our 3 officials tonight. We've just seen a thriller in Launceston. And now it's the Hawks and the Wildcats' turn. And the Hawks won all 3 games. A premium look straight away for Froling.
Did you see the offensive set, Pete? There was so much misdirection going on in the baseline right there. All for Sam Froling just to slip behind his defender, get an easy deuce to start the game.
We mentioned how clinical they are at the offensive end. Here's an example. Henshall tees off. Elijah Pepper getting his hands dirty early on.
Got Elijah Pepper and Ben Henshall, 2 guys who have just been waiting for the extra opportunity to step up and deliver. And now they have no choice. John Riley's going to give them the freedom to go out there and be the players who they are. And that is really aggressive on the offensive end and try and fill it up.
11 points against Sydney last Friday night in their win. Elijah Pepper had some issues shooting the ball. Was 1 of 11 from outside. He's a better shooter than that.
When you're 1 for 11, you got to think the next one's going in. And when it goes in, you say, see, I told you.
23-year-old out of Shepparton in country Victoria. Now playing his trade in the West. Will Hickey running the point for Illawarra. He's Wani Swakala bullet.
Same play, Pete.
There was just so many options in that play, as you said, Damon.
Froling turns the corner. Hickey just snatched it out of his hands and walked it in.
That's not how they drew it up.
Guarantee you it looked nothing like that on the whiteboard. Mitchell, not 2 feet in the paint, little roller goes.
Like you said earlier, Pete, when Bryce caught him, when a heavy, dominant enforcement nature is out of the lineup, everybody else steps up and everybody else has a little bit more freedom, which makes them all collectively dangerous.
Froling again, getting an early look. Doesn't get that one to go, but it's clear early on that Illawarra are trying to get him involved. Pepper, that's deep.
They're really struggling to shoot the three ball. And as I said, when you do take out a four-time MVP, a team to try and pick up that slack and cover for him, it's a good finish there from Days. It's going to launch away from three. 1 point last weekend, they were 15% from deep. Not going to win too many games if you shoot like that without Bryce Cotton.
They shoot it at 28% for the season.
It's not great.
Not good.
Especially when you've got likes of Ben Henshall, Elijah Pepper, who have seen fill it up. Dylan Windler is notorious for his career from knocking down the three ball, so they've got enough weapons to do so. Just needs to translate to on the floor.
No Bryce Cotton, as we mentioned. Ty Webster also not suiting up tonight, so two of their starters not out there. Keanu Pinder steps out and shows everyone else how it's done. Days rolls to the cup. And Pinder attracts an early foul. Darius Days will be on the free throw line. Annalie Maley courtside.
Guys, it only took a minute and a half for JR to stand up. He started sitting down with his arms crossed, looking super chill. But after one of the last shots, he's up and he's pacing the sidelines already.
Annalie Maley, Gangaroo, how you doing, girl? Tell me, what's the vibe like down there with Jesse's big thing? Is he going to get in the first quarter? What do you think John Riddy's plans are for him?
Hey, I asked him before the game if he thought he was going to pull out a dunk today, and he said only time will tell. So, hey, I actually think the game would end, and they would call it if he pulls out a dunk today.
I'll be happy with a board tap if we get that from Jesse Wagstaff.
Anything is better than nothing.
That's good trivia. When was Jesse's last dunk?
Probably 10 years ago. Darius Days makes the second.
September 08.
A couple of minutes played at RAC Arena. Not a lot between these two teams early. The Hawks 6 wins and just 2 losses in this NBL25 season so far. Henshall's aggressive early on.
I'll tell you what, right now he looks like option 1A. Thought it was Keanu Pinder, but Ben Henshall was ultra aggressive in this first 3 minutes.
So Sam Froling. Nice D from Pinder. Did well not to give away a second foul. Here's Christian Doolittle. Pinder swings back and hustles in baseline. Windler tucked away in the corner. Back-to-back threes for Perth.
Only shooting 22% from deep this season so far, Dylan Windler, but I like that lefty stroke. Good ball movement, good kick by Christian Doolittle when he got his feet set in the corner. Looked real good.
Harvey with the lob for Froling. It's knocked out of play.
I think it's going to be Perth ball. Yeah, it was good correction there, I think. Froling, I think he just fumbled it in the end, but Dylan Windler can knock that down. If he can get that a bit more consistent, when Bryce Cotton comes back, this is why I was so high on this Perth Wildcats team.
Doolittle walks into the three.
Wow.
Un dos tres.
Wow. You're looking at a 17% three-point shooter. When you're shooting that percentage, you got to figure the next one's going in. And Christian Doolittle, as he just then karate chop Sam Froling to the ground. But they got nothing to lose, Pete. You open, you got to take these shots. You already saw Pinder hit one, might as well.
This is the silver lining about losing Bryce Cotton for an extended period of time. The rest of the team now steps into the limelight and they gain confidence. If they can gain confidence, not just shooting the rock, but just overall play, then you bring back Bryce Cotton and everyone else stays at that level, then you've got something really special.
Even in the Sydney game last week, Pete, that they won, 15 assists, they averaged 9 across the season as Sam Froling gives an assist to the state of WA. The code word is inbound. Have a burger on the Hawks.
Oh, wow. Damon just asked me if inbound was 1 or 2 words too. So make sure you don't leave that out when you get put it in there.
Tell him Sam sent you.
Can't confirm it's 1. Harvey, high degree of difficulty in that jump shot, but that doesn't bother Tyler Harvey.
Tyler Harvey has been so surgical this season with his scoring. He's shooting 47% from downtown, but whenever he gets a shot off, it just looks good as Benny.
I told you, option 1A, Ben 10.
What a start to the game for Ben Henshall. 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting. The Perth Wildcats are 4 of 6 from deep.
Up and about.
This is why we love to see when you had your struggles, but makes it contagious. And sooner rather than later, Ben Henshall gets some sort of opportunity over stateside. You just know it.
Tangerine timeout. Bryce Cotton, the benchmark, not out there tonight for the Perth Wildcats with the rib injury. He caught up with Annalie Maley pre-game and spoke about mentoring some of the younger players.
Being on the sideline, how are you able to mentor the younger kids? You talking to them throughout the week? What are you saying to those younger guys or the guys that are getting more opportunity?
Yeah, a couple of them have asked me, to point things out to them that I see during the game or sometimes during practice. So I don't want to be too overbearing, but if they ask for help, I got them. And it's cool for me to see the game from a different perspective momentarily, but I'll be happy to get back out there too, though.
Good to see Bryce smiling. He's not too far away, and I guess if you had a watch that good on your wrist, I'd be smiling too.
It either have the watch and no house, or a house and no.
Or why not have both?
No, they can't wait to get Bryce back out there. I need these guys, though, like you said, Pete. You got to play like this when Bryce comes back. Don't be hesitating and deferring when you guys are already showing what you can do.
It's not often in first quarters that Illawarra are trailing. They've won 6 of their 8 first terms, and they're 5.5 points better than the opposition in quarter number 1. But it's Perth who have come out firing, and again it's Froling.
Really good patience from Sam Froling. Keanu Pinder's going to understand. He's letting him get back to his strong side. He's not rushed down there. He's going to continue to try and get back to that right shoulder, left hand, and right now he's just having his way with it.
Pinder walks into the paint. Simple as that.
Keanu just plays with a ferociousness. When he's in this kind of mode, this is almost violent. Uh-oh, speaking of violence.
Now, I just want to take this opportunity to correct myself here. A couple of minutes ago, I did say that Ty Webster not out there tonight. When your handwriting's as bad as mine, occasionally you read things wrong. I can confirm that Ty Webster is playing, so I do apologise.
Well, or you were just confused with the Perth Wildcats injury tweet. One of the two.
No, I had written it down and then scrubbed it out. One Jung Lee. Oh! How did that go?
Did that hit glass?
I don't think it hit the glass. Fresh off the bench.
He faked that.
I'm going to need to see the Amy replay, see if that went off the glass. He kissed it, Pete.
I thought so. That's incredible.
Well spotted.
That had a bit of everything.
That's the way we like the Mitsubishi Motors 3s. Get him in one for that.
Annalie Maley courtside.
Hey, you couldn't hear it from in there, but he actually called bankers and it left his hands.
Wheeler backs it up and splashes once more.
5 of 7 from outside. What a start for the Perth Wildcats shooting from deep.
A reminder, they shoot at 28% for the season. This has been a welcome change of fortune for John Riley's men. Ulbrich forces his way in.
Even a broke clock is right twice a day.
It's back to 6 points, the difference. Still 4 minutes remaining in the opening term. What? They cannot miss.
Ben Henshall is on one. 10 points in the first 6 minutes. He's got 2 assists as well.
Ben 10 has 10 in the opening quarter. Harvey with a steadying bucket for the Hawks.
Ben don't care. You take the 2, I'll take the 3 on the other end.
If you love defense, look away now. Or why not?
Mans are inside off the little feed.
Bueno, mi amigo!
They have 28 points on the board already, Perth. There's still 3.5 minutes to play in this quarter.
Only missed 3 shots.
Swipe a bullet from the elbow.
Hey.
White 30.
I apologize. I know how you are.
You went up.
Justin Tatum and Chris Reed just re-familiarise themselves with each other.
Did Australia hear that apology from Justin Tatum?
I respect the restraint.
A week is a long
right there,
time.
you saw that Lockie Aubrey just got him across the face. So probably well restrained in the end.
Myron Harrison in the game with some grunt. Windler for 3 again. Not that time.
That is a nice stroke, though. That's a good miss if there's such a thing.
Harvey, Justin Tatum thought he was fouled. Harvey just played through.
He's spot on. Yeah, absolutely, that was a foul. That should be an M1 opportunity. Ty Webster's trying to join the party. Why not? Why not? 7 of 10 in the first quarter, 31 points.
This is incredible from the Wildcats, and then an uncharacteristic turnover from the Hawks. Their Achilles heel has become their best friend all of a sudden.
What's the odds? What are the odds? Everybody's getting up for Jesse's celebration day, and everybody's feeling good about themselves. Now, the Hawks are averaging 98 points a game, so I figured you got to score some points if you want any chance of winning. You got to get close to 100 to beat these dudes. They are well on their way.
10-point first quarter lead. Pepper!
What the hell is going on, Pete?
They can throw it from the Swan River and it'll land.
Now, this is going to test my memory, Jack, but I believe that the 40-minute record for first quarter points is 39. I think we've had that twice, or 38. They're on their way. Oh, my goodness. What? Justin Tatum yelling, what are we doing? It's a great question.
Former Wildcat, Toddy Blanchfield kissing one off the glass.
Windler with the interception. Here's Ty Webster.
Are you out of your mind, Ty?
This is remarkable. 8 made threes in the opening quarter. Make that 9 as Ty Webster splashes. 37-24.
Good grief.
All we're missing is the ball rack. They just make their way around the key and shoot threes. Here's the Amy replay.
That is nothing but
9 of 12.
What is it, Pete?
I'm in the archives.
Great penetration by Dylan Windler. Everybody's finding everybody. This is incredible.
37-24. 13 of 18 from the field, Perth. On any other night, Illawarra's 10 of 13 would look good.
Yeah. 39 points is the record for a 40-minute era in the first quarter scoring. It's been done 3 times.
If Hiram Harris hits the 3 ball before this quarter ends,
then it's April 1.
let one fly.
Breathtaking shooting display from Perth. And doing it without Bryce Cotton so far.
I'm thinking Bryce who? No, that wouldn't. Sorry.
No.
It's just that's I got carried away.
Harris rolls to the cup. Swings into the corner. Here's Todd Withers, who's out there as Bryce Cotton's nominated replacement. Almanza with a little push again. That's well short. Hickey's got Olbrich on the move. Great athleticism from the big man.
Great pass by Davo. Way to run the floor. The Hawks just going to keep getting up and down. They're not going to change the way they play just because Perth is hotter than fish grease.
This time it's Peatling who gets rewarded and distributes to Olbrich. No foul. Justin Tatum clearly doesn't feel that the Hawks are on the right side of the whistle in this first term. 10-second difference between game and shot clock. Webster ran out of options and ran out of room. One jung lead, looks for Peatling. Eli Mason Peatling's knocking them down. Craziness.
November is off his head.
So Ellie's on red 8 for a hold. We have bonus.
What's Mason Peatling shooting from three-point this season so far?
Hasn't made one yet. Has not knocked down a 3 until then.
This could be a 5-point opportunity here.
We can't give y'all a second to miss it. Calls that y'all been missing. Good job. Great job. I'm proud of you.
Oh, man.
Just for the record, Justin Tatum is proud
He is
of the officials.
He is treading a fine line.
Great job.
So the 3
Let's go,
counts.
White.
And then 2 bonus free throws for Albrecht. Caps off a 5-point play.
They hard to find.
Well, we've had everything else in this first quarter. Webster behind the back for Almanza. He can't score. The tip-in goes. Hiram Harris at the buzzer. This has been a quarter for the ages. Hopefully, it stays like this for the remainder of the night. A stunning first term sees the Wildcats lead 39-31 at RAC Arena. (39-31) is the score after 1 quarter at RAC Arena. The Friday night forecast was heavy rain of the 3-ball variety, Damon Lowry.
Yeah, Keanu Pender got it started. He hit his first one, then Christian Doolittle hit one, and all of a sudden Ben Henshall said, wait a minute, don't forget about me, and it just snowballed. 9 out of 12, 75%, Pete.
70 points scored combined in the first quarter. Outrageous.
And hopefully it's just the start. Out there to start the second quarter. Windler, Doolittle, Henshall, Pinder, and Pepper for Perth. Lee, Hickey, Froling, Blanchfield, and Albrecht.
Good, look here, look here.
For the visiting Illawarra Hawks. Here's Lockie Albrecht. Little handoff to Hickey in the 2-man game. Offensive rebound. Back out to Blanchfield. And bang time the last one. Is Hickey crashing the offensive glass.
Oh, pull up 3 ball.
Was stolen by Henshall.
Oh!
They've missed 3, so is that a slump?
Have to be.
Don't be shooting 15-footers being as hot as you are. I mean, for the Hawks to have 31 points in a quarter at 71% and be down by 8.
Well, I think they'd be very happy. You let a team got 9 of 12 against you and you're only down 8. You're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Annalie Maley, courtside.
Listening in to Tatum just then, he did make a point of they're not going to shoot like this for the entire game. So to not go away from their game plan, he wants them to kind of punch the ball inside more, get some more grenades. Also, keep an eye on Windler. He's getting his left ankle re-strapped as he's out there, but he seems to be hobbling a little bit.
Sometimes you also don't want to tempt fate. They haven't attempted a 3 yet, but it's very unlikely they'll hit 9 threes. But confidence is a wonderful thing.
In the call for the travel. John really was trying a bit of the reverse psychology with the ref, saying we'll get a call.
I think both coaches are trying that technique. Jack?
This game looks a lot different to the first game we saw tonight in Launceston. No scoring affair between the Jack Jumpers and the Phoenix.
We all needed this start to this game, Jack, in our life.
You especially.
This is beautiful, beautiful basketball.
Keanu Pinder now has 2 fouls, so 2 for Windler, 2 for Pinder. We're still early in the second quarter, so it's a food for thought now for John, really.
Yeah.
34 points last week. Just dynamic in their win over Sydney. Staying out there for now. Doolittle feeds him down low. Swings back up to Henshall. That one jumps out. Pepper with the uncontested rebound.
Sam dodged the bullet, helping off Ligon Ben Henshall. But get back on defense.
Hey, come on, get that ball.
They go in transition. The Hawks are backing themselves to be able to score like this for 4 quarters. Perth, who's only averaging 86 points a game, it's not bad, but can they maintain this level of scoring?
Cough that one up. 10 assists on 15 makes for the Wildcats. Darius Days with his back to the basket, turns around and makes it a 6-point game.
They're always going to make a run. Illawarra Hawks, as we said, for as well as Perth shot the ball and played in that first quarter, for Illawarra just to be down 8, you're feeling very good about yourself. Good timeout. Just trying to steady the ship.
We talk about how sometimes one player can be able to score from all 3 levels, but the Hawks as a team can score from all 3 levels. In transition, you got Dave O'Hickey pushing the ball, getting layups, finding people in Lachlan Albrecht running the floor. They can shoot the 3 ball with H.J. Lee and Tyler.
Coming on up.
See what Justin got to say.
Walk you on the side. Sam coming on up. All right, coming this way. You and Dave on 2-man game. Get downhill. All right, it's Swak open. He's going to bury that motherfucker. You got me? But get on the basket when you can. Now here on the back end. Let's keep changing up defensively, man. Showing on the screens, but I'm really worried about the tag. They're trying to get it defended. Shut everybody else down. Give them one shot, my man. Chip away. Chip away. Chip away.
Doing an outstanding job. Signed a 3-year deal in the off-season. You think about from where this Illawarra Hawks team was about this time last year, Damon. Things were looking pretty bleak. They made a change in the coaching structure, and the whole world changed for Illawarra after that. They went to the semi-finals last year, and they're currently on top of the ladder.
It flipped almost immediately, and there he is. That's not Kobe, 24.
I was getting a little nervous there. For him to officially tie the record, Dave, he needs to get on the floor.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of guys who've tried to get milestone games and get some DNPs, and they're waiting.
Jesse Wagstaff in game 482. There he is setting that pick up top. Doolittle flashes hard and is fouled. Annalie Maley, you were listening to John Riley.
Would have been happy with that possession. He said he wanted to play through Wags at the elbow, but he had some very colourful language about their self-inflicted wounds, turning the ball over, and he's saying it's all under their control.
I don't think Perth want to get into a track meet. Yes, that first quarter was biblical, but over the course of 4 quarters, Pete, I don't know if Perth want to get up and down like that. That plays into the Hawks' hands.
I think it does, but I think the way they're going to try and now play basketball without Bryce Cotton, maybe that's the new Perth until Bryce comes back, where it's a little less relying on execution side and more of that freestyle of everybody's going to have the opportunity. Let's try and play fast, push it up if you're open, let it fly. I hear what you're saying, though, because Illawarra are more battle-hardened in that play style. They know that they can prove and go away and win games like it.
That style sounds a lot like the coach when he played, Damon. Not really.
Oh, yeah.
Let him fly from anywhere.
I don't think
Hickey downhill, scores!
The new boomer. Davo's playing the best basketball of his young life.
One stop, baby. One stop, baby.
Got this starting role now with Trey Kell being out. They have not missed a beat. He's doing a good job not getting himself in foul trouble, playing solid D. He doesn't play out of his frame, Pete. He doesn't try to do anything he can't do.
It's an incredible story the last few years, because you think about every time he got small chances, he's never really got given the proper chance to show what he can do. And then when Justin Tatum came along and gave it to him, not everyone's ready to take it either. When you've had so many times you've been knocked back and knocked down, you can't crack into the NBL. But he took it, he ran with it, and it's well-deserved that 3-year extension, albeit he probably signed it a little earlier. Yeah. He's been playing.
Henshall from deep, there's another. 13 points for Ben Henshall on 5 of 8.
30-piece.
Where it's going.
He's on his way. Davo went under that screen. Total defensive breakdown, and Ben made him pay the price.
And Froling gave it up. Withers in the open floor. It's fouled, and that'll count too.
I don't mind this track meet right now, Damon.
First to 100.
But I'm with you. I think Illawarra, this does play into their hands, but right now this is really good from the Wildcats. They've nearly got 50 on the board.
Talk about taking your chances. Todd Withers doing exactly that. Annalie Maley courtside.
Hey, serious question, Damon. Prime-time Damon Lowry. Who would win a game of one-on-one? Would it be Damon or would it be Davo Hickey?
Prime time, Damon? I don't like Davo's chances.
I thought you were going to be all modest, but no. Clearly not.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of injury replacements, like Todd Withers, we remember him when he was in Adelaide.
I'm not even going to let me respond to that claim.
Didn't get off to didn't have the best season back then. Kind of twirled around in the NBL 1 West, and now here he is.
Well, you can check Todd Withers' stats out from that Adelaide season on NBL Plus. Unlock all the ultimate fan experience, all the info, everything you need. Just scan that QR code.
So it's just a new change of scenery. And again, I like that you stay around the NBL 1. I feel like there might be some previous stars who pop around the NBL 1. And I'm not, a couple of names I might have seen some old Cairns imports maybe coming back. You just hear a couple of things, Damon.
Who's
I want another crack.
Go on.
In the NBL. I say no more.
Oh. Interesting. Here's Doolittle. 5 points. Ben Henshall, the leading scorer with 13. Days from long range. The Hawks 3 of 7. Being a little more selective with the 3 ball so far. Shot clock down to 10. Spacing all wrong here for the Wildcats. To Henshall in the low block. Froling takes care of the rebound.
Exceptional strength down low, Sam Froling.
Days, great look for Hickey. He's tipped back out, Hawks can reset.
Layup. The floater game, Tyler Harvey's float game. I don't know what his percentage is. That's your job, independent. You keeping stats on floaters and runners?
I can get team floaters. I'll get it to you eventually.
49-41. High-scoring, entertaining affair. Davo Hickey throws that into the lap of a lucky fair.
Just take the layup. I mean, you deviated. Jesse, I think you initiated the contact.
If I ever come out of retirement and join an over 55s league, I want Justin Tatum to coach me. He'll make me believe in myself, Pete.
55 or...
Points will count for Webster. Look at him flex.
It's good to have him back. That half century already. 51 on the board in 15 minutes of action. They're shooting it at a ridiculous 71% from deep and 56% overall. They're enjoying themselves right now, and so they should.
This is the NBL I remember from the 48-minute era days. Good to see it.
Well, the challenge is, Damien, as you said, they've got to maintain this against the Illawarra Hawks team that see you playing this fast, they lick their lips as well.
It's the Wildcats who maintain this double-digit lead. 2-2 on their home floor so far this season. And eventually, Illawarra get the whistle.
Lockie dodged the bullet there. That elbow did raise a little high around Todd with his clavicle, but he got away with it. And one thing about how Justin Tatum coaches, too, being a power forward type big, the way he played college basketball, he's going to go to his strengths. And Illawarra is still an inside-out team, so they're going to pound the ball inside with Darius Days, Lockie, or Sam Frawley and put all the pressure on your interior bigs.
Justin Tatum.
No respect, I told you.
Behavior warning. Lockie Olbrich, another Illawarra Hawk named in this Boomers squad for some upcoming games.
Bench warning for the Illawarra Hawks. I think there's more on everybody else rather than Justin Tatum. The referee's just saying, you're allowed to stand, but everyone else just has to relax a little bit.
Harris was whistled for an offensive foul. Now John really quite demonstrative in arguing that.
So there was one of these in the previous game with Will Magnay when the same thing when you have a handoff and someone trying to fight over it. If you stay in your cylinder and make contact with the glutes, it's no foul. If you leave your cylinder any sort of way, it's illegal contact.
Blanchfield pulls up. It's long. Sparkle the boy, bit it nicely off the rim.
That's the first time I saw Toddy go between his legs. And Tyler the creator.
I was thinking the same thing. I saw Todd Blanchfield put it between the legs, crossover, and had not moved off the spot he was in.
Tyler Harvey with the 3 ball has very quickly got to 13 points on a perfect 5 of 5 shooting. It's 52-46 in this Tangerine timeout. And tonight's all about Jesse Wagstaff as he ties the record. And Annalie caught up with him pre-game.
With Bryce out and last week being super successful, do you guys take a lot from that game building into this game? Similar game plan?
Yeah, look, I think, last week it was just the energy and the intensity that we played with. It's really tough to do, but you've got to do that night in, night out in the NBL to give yourself a chance. And that's a challenge to do it again tonight. Obviously a great job last week, but yeah, try to do it again tonight.
Game 482, are we seeing a Jesse Wagstaff dunk or?
I think you know the answer to that.
He's been called a legend of the club by his teammates during the week. He himself said that it's a privilege to play for the Perth Wildcats each and every time. 6th Man of the Year in 2012, All-NBL 3rd team, a gold medalist at the Commonwealth Games, NBL Rookie of the Year in 2010, and a 6-time NBL champion.
It's incredible to think how it all started. After he left college, Mike Dunlap won a national championship. He was going to sign with the South Dragons, but then they folded. And Perth were lucky enough to scoop him up, and he got that NBL Rookie of the Year through the absence of Paul Rogers, another great of the game, and he stepped into that spot and delivered big time, and then everything else that transpired since. So he's definitely an all-time great. Love to see him get to 500.
6 chips. Knows how to win. Knows what winning is all about.
Not out there at the moment. This is Ithano Almanza. The next star, he's running out of options. Winners denied. Todd Blanchfield's winding back the clock.
Toddy throwing block parties. He's throwing backyard gatherings.
Dribbles between the legs and blocking shots. I mean, a time machine. Annalie Maley.
You notice here, Todd's actually playing the 4, so he's going to stretch out the floor completely. Tatum's telling him to stay far, so they spread out the key.
Ben Henshall is on one. He is on fire right now. 16 points, 4 of 6 from deep.
This is the game that we've all been waiting for from Ben Henshall. A prodigious young talent and a flat-out scorer. Tonight we're seeing it. And we're seeing Tyler Harvey do it at the other end.
How do you want it? Off the left foot, off the right foot? Nothing but net off the glass. Tyler Harvey is also 100% from the field.
Henshall's the man, and he's fouled this time, and even that nearly dropped.
He's making veteran moves out there as well. Ben Henshall, sooner rather than later, is going to get that NBA opportunity. Whether that's training camp, whether that's summer league, we talk about potentially getting signed, drafted, all of that. Ben Henshall is a tremendous talent for his age. We only saw the glimpse of it last year, and then he kind of got shut down, fell out of the rotation. But this is that silver lining of not having Bryce. The ball movement, the player movement, the confidence. It makes the Wildcats as a team incredibly hard to guard. You just think about what they could be when you fast forward to the end of the season when Bryce comes back in. It's exciting.
Dominated in the NZNBL in the off-season. It gave him all of the confidence in the world to come back here and do what he's doing tonight.
I remember game 1 last year against Melbourne, against the Phoenix. He went for like 25.
We didn't see him again.
Didn't see much of him after that. But you can just tell a guy like that, like you said, Pete, confidence, you wouldn't know. He could be 32, 28, doesn't matter. The guy just truly believes in his scoring ability.
Pushes it back to 10. Every time the Hawks have made a run at Perth, they've had the answer. But they don't have an answer for Harvey that time. He can't score.
Damn, there it is.
Well, and his frustrations and the frustrations of Illawarra have boiled over.
Yeah, there's been a couple of warnings given to the Hawks.
Here we go, guys. Shooting one.
Which is normally very unlike Tyler Harvey to say anything that's going to cross the line to warrant a tech. So maybe that's more of the referee saying, hey, it's been 17 minutes of this game and you guys are still chirping a little bit. You've had plenty of warnings. I need you to settle down.
And that's the tone that Justin Tatum's got to do a better job with that. He can't be the guy that you're the leader of the team if you're always complaining and you know, arguing every call. Now your players go out there, they think it's okay to do it. Now they lose focus. And this 10-point lead, the longer this game goes on, another run is coming from Perth at some point. You gotta figure.
Tyler Harvey's going to come out with that technical foul. And in comes Kobe McDowell-White.
Saw him make his debut, Kobe McDowell-White, last Sunday against Southeast Melbourne. Only signed a couple of weeks ago. Tyler Harvey now with 3 fouls, so unlikely we'll see him for the remainder of this first half, which means that Hickey's going to take some of the responsibility on. Loose ball falls Perth's way. The shooting clip is still an insane 73% from long range. Doolittle with a slight blemish on that record. Albrecht takes it straight through Almanza and scores.
Not quite sure what that was.
He's so crafty.
So balanced. Looked like he's off balance.
Henshall in the mid-range this time. 21 first half points for Ben 10.
Some people are just born buckets, Damon. You and I did not fit that.
No.
But he is just a certified bucket getter.
Who had Ben Henshall for 21 in the first half on their bingo card? Who had it?
That was my bold prediction.
No, I don't remember hearing that.
But even just, you talk about the confidence, that was a long two.
I'll get there first, never coming back down here.
Let's say, I'm gonna get back to you. Don't hate me. No, man, don't hate me. Hey. I asked him what he said. I asked him, what did he say?
One shot, one rest. On the bench.
What did he say?
I'll find out for you in a second.
Hey, that's better. Hey,
one here, then we've got shots down here.
When you say in a calm voice.
There are.
Yeah, that's man. Yeah, whistle doesn't give you. Go down. What did he say?
Continual abuse telling me to make a call.
Who was?
White ball.
Tech foul on Illawarra. Christian Doolittle misses the extra.
Get that call from him. Down here.
It's too much. It's too much. This is the time when...
Did anybody give Tyler a warning?
If it's continual, we've already given it a
I pray to God I don't see them stand up and react, and then I'm going to get my technical foul because all the seniors, you guys are focused on.
He hasn't shot it
I
yet.
understand it, and I'll get my picture under control. But at the end of the day,
It can
you guys
be
got to have
a challenging environment to go to RAC Arena.
Right now, it's not.
I mean, it's hard enough to win on the road. It's already hard enough, especially as hot as Perth is right now. But then to get the refs offside, Pete. They're humans too, Pete.
Yeah, I understand what Justin Tatum's saying in frustration because he's saying they're down the other end, but to be honest, I mean, John Miller's had a couple where he's said something, but he hasn't done a whole lot. There hasn't been much action at all from Perth. Why would they? They've got 60 points in the first half.
Does it work going at the refs all the time?
No, it doesn't, especially when, as you're right, your team is now following that lead and that example that you have set in the first half when they need to just worry about getting stops right now.
Martin, that was impressive. Ooh. The spin and the finish from the next stop.
With the left hand. Now that's a post move for all you sinners out here in the league. Watch the 19-year-old Spaniard.
Now Hickey guarded by Almanza that time, and it drops. Will Hickey forcing his way in, has 8 points now.
He's slippery. He's a slippery one, Davo.
So this one. Don't go under that screen too often.
Everything at the moment going through Henshall. That time.
Imagine being a DP. Young Kobe hits the floor, and you got the hottest guy in Western Australia. Davo?
2 for 1 here.
Oh, fair enough.
For the Hawks.
Yeah, Kobe's got the job on the hot guy.
Perth wind that clock down. Henshall shares inside, back out now. Pepper misses everything.
Good job, Kobe. Just did enough. Made Benny Henshall give it up. Got Elijah Pepper wide open shot, just could knock it down, but you gotta like a coach who has faith in his DP who just got on the team a couple weeks ago.
Timeout Illawarra, 62-53 in this Tangerine timeout. They've got 8.6 seconds to work with, Pete. And this is where, from an Illawarra perspective, they've got so many options out on the floor. With Tyler Harvey not out there, what do you think this last play looks like?
I've been trying to draw. I mean, the most aggressive one right now has been Lockie Albrick and Davo Hickey. So Lockie Albrick, he's in double figures, maybe drawing something up to get him with the high post, put the ball on the floor. He's finishing through contact. You talk about his balance and being able to absorb that contact and finish. Looking in that.
The main thing is the screen to get Tyler. And Davey on the backside. If they come help,
Earlier tonight, it's the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix under Josh King. Goes 1-0. It's a grind at the hard way. 79-77 over the Jack Jumpers in Launceston.
Yeah, congrats to Josh tonight, King. Get his first win on the road.
Not quite the same offensive fiesta that we've enjoyed here.
A little bit opposite to what we're looking at now. But they made some big shots down the stretch.
Don't come over,
Sobe.
I'm very happy to see that. Halloween was last night, I thought, Jack. And I was scared.
Hawks are going to take it the full length of the floor. Harvey back out there for this last play. He's their big shot maker in these situations. To first to lead off. Balance floater falls out late. Incredible. Simply incredible from Perth in the first half. 62 points. They lead the Illawarra Hawks, who have got 53 of their own. If you like buckets, then this is the game for you.
Sure is. Quieting down a little bit in the last couple of minutes, but boy, oh boy, it's fun to watch. And again, can Perth keep it up? We'll find out in the second half, but they couldn't have started any better.
Annalie Maley courtside.
21 points for you in the first half. Shut the lights out. What did it feel like out there with not a lot of defense being played?
I'm hitting my shots. Last week I didn't make my shots, so I came out here with an emphasis trying to score the ball. So teammates getting me open, it's looking good.
What do you think the focus will be going into the second half? It's a bit of a track meet right now.
we got to clean up those low boards. They're getting too many second chance points, and we got to slow them down in transition.
All right, good luck for the rest of the game.
It's been the star of the first half, Ben Henshall, 21 points. It's the game that we've all been waiting for. The Wildcats lead Illawarra 62-53. Friday night hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Well, I think we all needed a moment just to catch our breath and reset after a stunning offensive feast in the first half. Perth leading Illawarra 62-53. Both teams shooting the lights out. Damon Lowry and Pete Hooley. This one is a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're talking about. It's all about putting the ball in the hole. And we look at these shooting percentages, and they're just astronomical. 62 points at the half for the Perth Wildcats. Normally 53 and a half for any team would be enough to win, but not today. So, look, the first team that plays a semblance of defense will come out with a win.
It's been unbelievable. The way they came out, and again, you talk about the confidence they're playing with, that equal opportunity. It is so much harder to guard because everybody can go. Christian Doolittle walked into a trail 3-ball confidently. Elijah Pepper was shooting him confidently, but it was all about Ben Henshall. He was terrific in that first half.
He's been the star of the first half so far, Ben Henshall, no question about that. And this is, I've said it a lot as we take a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights. We've all known how talented this young man is. We've all known the offensive capability he has. We've just been waiting for a performance like this.
Just needed the opportunity. Obviously, with Bryce Cotton being out, everybody else has to collectively step up. But this young man right here has always been a scorer. Ever since under 16s, he's been scoring. So now that he's getting his shot, he's on the floor a lot. His stroke is pure. He can put the ball on the floor, one dribble left, one dribble right. It does not matter. He has the scoring package, Ben 10.
It's really fun to watch. Have a look at his Blackmore shot chart. It's a beautiful thing. The deep three is what impresses me most, but even just watching in that first half, he's unflappable. The way he just stays within himself, you think any time you're a young guy who's trying to make your name in this league and continue to grow, you've got big aspirations in your future, and you're unguardable at times, there's not one change in his emotion. It's like, okay, I've knocked the three, next play. I need to go and play defense, because he knows defense is when Bryce comes back, that's what gets him in the circle of trust. But ultimately, he has been terrific, and again, they'll be hoping a big second half from him as well.
At the other end of the floor, Tyler Harvey's been outstanding for the Illawarra Hawks, picking up from where he left off last week against South East Melbourne, where he took that game over in the second half. Tonight, he's been on the spot from the start.
Very efficient, Tyler, with 15 points. Only missed a one shot. And we all know his scoring package, the floater game. You know, he's herky-jerky. He's got the runners, the three balls. He's just got to stay out of foul trouble. And the pace right now suits Tyler Harvey. But like I said, they're going to have to slow it down at some point, maybe feature Sam Fraud a little bit more. But Tyler is doing what he always does.
I think he's super efficiently as well, 6 or 7, but very unlike him to have 3 fouls in a game, let alone in the first half. So if he picks up a 4th one early, might have to sit down.
What happens next?
Hopefully the same. I don't want it to go the other way, but I'd like to see this offensive onslaught continue. But the big question that you spoke about, and I'm the same, can Perth keep up this pace for the entire game? If the shot doesn't keep dropping, can they then rely on their defense to get enough stops? We haven't seen it so far this season. We'll find out.
Lots to look forward to for tomorrow's doubleheader. We start with New Zealand and Adelaide. Good news for the 36ers. Isaac Humphries will be back, and the New Zealand Breakers, there's still a watch this space, I think, but when you've got Parker Jackson-Cartwright leading the way, good things can happen.
They embarrassed themselves at home, and then they went to Sydney and got a big win. You can't count them out, can't quite get a read on them, but if PJC's got anything to do with it, they're a big chance.
And then two teams who need a win, the Cairns Taipans and the Brisbane Bullets in the Sunshine Stouts. That's what it all looks like on Saturday Hoops. A break from us here. This has been fun so far. Stick with us. Third quarter is coming up next in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Playing through contact.
Oh!
Keanu Pinder brings RAC Arena to life.
Like, the atmosphere is just unreal. Like I said to the boys, so we had a preseason game against the NBL1 All-Star team in West, and I did a 360 in the game in the NBL, right, in the Wildcats, and the crowd went crazy, right? And I did another one in like the preseason this year, and like we did it in a smaller gym, and it's like, man, there's no other feeling like when the RAC is pumping like that, you know, because you get the sense of, you know, from small fans, like small group to big group is crazy. Like, yeah, this is electrifying, you know.
He has caused mayhem inside the jungle.
There's home court advantage, and then there's what the Wildcats have when they play at RAC Arena. There's Minwoo Lee taking in all of the action of Friday night hoops as well. Why wouldn't you want to be in the house?
Let him cook, Jack. Let him cook.
Wildcats fans have been pumped with what's been going on in this half. 62 points they have. Shooting the three ball. Well, the clips come down a little bit, Damon. It's now at 57%, which is still pretty good.
Slow down a little bit, but they're still getting the kind of shots that they want. Now, obviously, Ben Henshall had to have, but Keanu Pinder, Christian Doolittle, dealing with all the rest of the guys will step up at some point throughout the game. As we look at Lockie Albrook right here, off the bench. Sixth man of the year, Pete, where you got him at?
Oh. No, right now I've still got Cam Oliver leading that race.
You mean the one that starts? Cam Oliver that starts for the Sydney Kings?
It's not about the last game you played.
He's going to start the rest of the season.
You think so?
He's got to.
Well, that's a different conversation. Right now, I think for the Hawks, I'd like to see them, you mentioned Sam Froling, really try and play through both Froling and Darius Days. He was good last game, but he was quiet at times. We forget how well he started the season for them. He's a key piece to their championship contending puzzle.
Averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds across the season, Darius Days. As you said, Pete, had 16 and 7 last Saturday against Southeast Melbourne, had 2 and 5 points in the 2 games prior.
Yeah, a bit up and down, getting about 25 minutes a game, but definitely needs to be more consistent.
He's out there to start the third quarter. Swings baseline. Hickey had to go to plan B, which was to do it himself.
Passed it to himself. It's all about controlling tempo to start this third quarter if you're the Hawks.
Henshall now has Wani Swaka Bullock for company in the second half. And Pete, he's taken some huge scalps this year.
Sure has. Look back at every individual matchup. There's probably only been 1 or 2 guys who have beat him in a direct matchup. As Davo Hickey scores the first 4 in this third quarter for the Hawks.
You can hear the instruction from Justin Tatum working. Ben Henshall is going to have to find other ways to get open. Pinder checks the feet.
This is how the first quarter started. Keanu got one to go in, and it kind of fueled the rest of the team. You want to play him for the drive. If Keanu's making that 3 ball, I don't know what you're really supposed to do with him.
We'll settle it for Perth to start the third quarter too. Davo Hickey and the Hawks have come out fast. Froling inside. Takes his tally up to 6 points.
Go back to the well. Good finish there.
Windler unsuccessful. They're the #1 team in the competition, Illawarra, for points in the paint. They average 50 points a game in the painted area. Hickey with 2 more.
Look at Davo! In transition, gets to the rim whenever he feels like he can play at multiple speeds. Fast to slow, slow to fast. He's just got those gears, Pete.
14 points on the night. Enough for a quick timeout here from John Riley. He has been outstanding once again.
It's been a big week. It's been a big couple of weeks for Will Hickey. Signed a 3-year contract last week to stay at the Illawarra Hawks, and then got a phone call a couple of days ago to find out that he's in the Australian Boomers squad.
Davo, congratulations on your selection for the Boomer squad. Talk to me about that phone call and how you found out. How do you feel about it all?
Well, I got a text message, and then I spoke to a few of the boys, and I know it was just sort of a little surreal moment for me, just with the journey that I've had. A lot of ups and downs, but more than anything, it just was a reflection. So just a lot of reflecting in the past, 48 hours or so, and just my journey and where I've been, speaking to people that you know, I'm close to and whatnot. So yeah.
I don't say this lightly. This is one of the great stories in Australian basketball that's happening right now.
You're spot on. We spoke about it a bit in the first half, but every minor opportunity he had throughout his career and never really got the chance to break through and cement himself as an NBL player. Knocked back again and then eventually gets the chance through Justin Tatum when he took over. Just to be ready for that moment after being knocked down so many times and you're thinking, am I ever going to get the proper chance again? How many times do we see development players come in, not get the chance to do it? He stuck with it, and credit Justin Tatum as well for having the confidence in him to give him extended opportunity. Now look at him.
Winlet from the corner. His 3-ball goes. Annalie Maley, you were listening to John Riley.
Guys, I've never heard a timeout quite like that. So he drew up an offense and at the end didn't talk about how they're going to guard Will Hickey. He just said, Will Hickey, and then went silent. It was brilliant. It was fantastic.
Like a mic drop.
Yeah.
Let's get up and leave. Hickey guarded by Pepper, turns around and knocks down the deep two.
Good Lord. That is not normally in his package per se.
What, a long contested, heavily contested
on
two?
the spin. But I happened to spend some time with him in Singapore, and I got to see his one-on-one package, and I don't think the NBL is ready for what he can really do. And now he's showing us as Elijah Pepper takes Davo to the rack for an easy deuce.
The scoring continues at RAC Arena. Floodgates have been open from the tip-off. Froling gets busy on Pinder. Starting to find his way to the game.
And that's how you control the tempo. The Hawks want to get up and run, but if the Perth are scoring that easy, that's how you slow them down. Pump the ball inside to Sam, let him take a few crab dribbles, get himself easy buckets, and now you run on misses.
Hawks with the numerical advantage up ahead. Froling travels. Missed opportunity for Illawarra.
I thought Tyler was going to pull that one in transition. That was a vintage Tyler Harvey 3-ball. He turned down.
Davo Hickey only up to 16 points. His career high is 18. And that was against Melbourne United in that semi-final series. 10th of March earlier this year, so just 2 points away from a new career high. And I keep saying it, Damo, I think you signed that extension a little early. The price is going up.
Pass, Webster. Feeds Doolittle.
It's one thing to get the tempo that you want, but if you're Perth, you're still feeling confident because you're scoring easy.
Back to Froling. Again, gets to that left hand. And he'll be shooting free throws. And that'll be 3 on Keanu Pinder.
There's a scouting report Pete say on Sam Froling, he's coming back left.
Oh, for sure. And we see that the best part about it for Sam Froling, for the Hawks-wise, is he's very patient. He's going to test that right shoulder multiple times. Okay, you cut it off once, you're going to cut it off again. If you cut it off 3rd or 4th time, he's okay to then get to his little lefty fadeaway, which he hit just before. You know he wants to get back. That's where he's so good. He's got the strength to hold you off with his right shoulder and finish with his left.
Last 4 games, Sam Froling, and this is the second, averaging 14.5 points, 5.5 rebounds a game.
Daniel Greedy checks in. They just throwing fresh bodies at Ben Henshall to slow him down.
Doolittle gets that one to fall. He's quietly accumulating. That's 9 points for Christian Doolittle. 4 assists to go with it. Back to 8 points, and Will Hickey tearing them apart.
Coming out party. Actually, he's already been out. You heard him in his press conference last week. I've always been nice. He's never lost belief in himself.
He's tied his career high. That's 18 for Hickey. There's plenty of time left in this game.
Good patience. Nice shot fake up and under by Keanu.
Harvey, quick release 3. This battle between Froling and Pinder is really heating up in the 3rd quarter. Windler from long range.
Don't forget about the lefty, Pete. He's a sniper.
Justin Tatum's not happy, saying there should be a travel.
Back to a double-figure lead for the Perth Wildcats. Let's check out the Amy replay. Where do we start? There's so many things going on right now.
I think he's got a good point.
Hey, Tyler daring to pull that one. Comes into the game shooting 22% from deep water. And Dylan Windler has a shooter's reputation. That lefty stroke, I'm surprised it took him this long, but he can get it going.
He's a guy, Pete, that from the moment Perth signed him, you've been really high on. You've been huge on what Dylan Windler could bring to this Wildcats team.
Unfortunately for him, just throughout his NBA career, and again, he had an exceptional senior year in college, but has dealt with injuries and setbacks every single year. Hasn't had that continuity to build on things, and that's happened here in Perth as well. But he's had the notorious nature of knocking down three balls at a high rate, but he had this knack for the glass. He loves to clean up the rebounds on both ends. He can start to bring this confidence. So he's 4 from 6 in this right now. I think there's a little bit more to his offensive package he hasn't explored yet, and maybe if the longer Bryce is not there, he can find that as well.
Everything I'm saying is to you? Do you think everybody's saying something to you? You think you're that important? I'm talking to you all the time.
No, I'm just trying to have a civil conversation.
I'm telling my team in the white, let's get it going. All right, nothing dealing with you. The least of my worries.
What's high on the worry list is this 79 points you're giving up in transition as Damian Grady gets an easy one. As long as, even though, Pete, the Hawks want to score a bunch of points, when you give it up that many points on the defensive end that easy, Perth don't feel like they can lose.
It's a better defensive possession.
Young Lee back into the game. He's got 18. And Lee was stripped. Fast hands from Doolittle. Free throws to come.
Turnover in transition. H.J. Lee turned it over. And there's just no room for defensive errors in this high-octane, up-and-down track meet of a game.
You can download the NBL app. You can read some of Pete Hooley's best stuff every week as well. Stat chat. Some of the features, and of course,
talk about
what lands on a Monday afternoon, Damon Lowry.
Hoo-yah! And some hard nups.
You write that on a Kindle.
Pencil and paper, man. Old school.
Typewriter.
He handwrites it, drops it off at the NBL office, and then someone has to decipher it and type it.
Wondered what that pigeon was doing every Monday morning.
81-70, Annalie Maley at RAC Arena.
Yeah, that messenger pigeon, it does find its way to Perth at times when he's delivering messages to me.
You know I miss you.
Will Hickey's having some sort of quarter. It was Ben Henshall in the first half, Pete. Now it's Will Hickey, two of the brightest young stars in Australian basketball.
Yeah, they've been outstanding. And it's not just been, he's talking about Lockie Holbrook in double figures as well. Dylan Windler double figures. They've got multiple guys who are just chipping away, but Hickey has been outstanding. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Foul on Ty Webster off the ball. But you're right, Damon. All the concerns right now should be getting stops. They've given up 81 points. Tasmania as a team average less than what Perth has right now per game.
It's a fascinating conversation about what happens when Bryce Cotton comes back. And I'm not for a second suggesting that they're a better team without him. I would never do that. But there are more opportunities and more options available.
He just casts such a big shadow. Looked like good defense to me from over here.
Fouls to zero. Yeah, that's why we're talking. He's gonna come up and do that. We did it too.
This is the most conversations I've ever heard for players and coaches with referees. I'm over it, Pete. Let's just hoop.
Must be nice to be able to sit here and know that you've got half your column already sorted for Monday.
You don't see any action of a pass?
He was passing to the guy in the corner. He was passing.
Let's go.
We've made a decision. Please, John, the decision's made.
No matter what he's looking to do, he has to do it. Here we go.
Tech, I'm just going tech happy. Damn it. Pete, I've had enough. Tech's for everybody.
So this is what we spoke about. And again, all the controversy last week in Illawarra and Melbourne, and the technical foul to Justin Tatum. And I was saying, understand the moment, understand the heightened emotions, but if that's what the level we're going to set, it's one warning, and if they go again, it's 10.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's not just one team, it's not one coach. Across the entire league, let's just stamp it out from that.
Can't argue with that. Doolittle at the elbow. Days reaching in. Takes it away from Almanza. Hawks still trailing by 10. As good as they've been, they can't get any closer than this. Shot clock down to 9. Hickey falling away has been outstanding.
Davo think he back in Aubrey. He just, nobody out there can guard him.
It's a new career high. 20 points, 10 of 13.
That Greeter came up with a 3-on-1 for the Hawks. Greeter got it back. Great D from Almanza.
Didn't give up on the play.
And Ty Webster catches his breath. Here's Pepper, defers to Todd Withers. 84 points, and there's still 2:47 remaining in the third.
Great ball movement. They all believe in each other. I was going to say earlier, Jack, Bryce Cotton casts such a big shadow that your average player, even their teammates, they just defer a little bit more than probably what they normally would. Whereas now, they don't have that. They all casting their own shadows out there right now. They look great. As Elijah. Oh.
Everybody wants to should be blown.
You got the call.
You got the call eventually, Annalie Maley.
You talk about all the players and the coaches having a yap to the refs, but what you don't see is what Jesse Wagstaff does on the sideline. He just stands up and stares. And he just looks at everyone, takes it all in, and then sits back down. Maybe that's the way to go about things.
Is that like when your dad's angry? He doesn't say anything, he just stares.
You know what that look means.
He's disappointed.
And you think, oh no. That's a nice touch.
That's respect right there.
In the heat of battle, and particularly for Justin Tatum tonight, to take that moment is a really beautiful thing.
Jesse Wagstaff, the common influence.
We need more Jesse next to JT.
What an action-packed night this has been. The best news for Hoops fans, there's still a quarter to go after this. Harvey and Froling, a little two-man game. Swackle, a bullet for 3. Wani with his first bucket of the night.
Another former Wildcat champion. How many threes did you hit in the RSC Arena, Pete? Is it just a shooter's gym? I never played in there.
Yeah, you were asking the wrong person if you're trying to back up that claim.
They're within 8, the Hawks. They come up with a stop. Blanchfield pushes the issue. Swackle a bullet. Back-to-back threes.
We're at it again.
This is a fun ball game.
The Hawks shooting the 3-ball at 40% now. They are making a run at it. Peatling scraps after it with Wagstaff. And I wonder whether John really will consider this.
I'm going to need to see the replay, because did Jesse go for the ball or for ankles?
Christian. No line-up, guys. No line-up.
We're not going to challenge it. I don't think it'd be worth challenging.
Because you bumped into him and you were from the side, you're the last defender.
There you go. It's a clear path foul.
Yep.
They've called. You heard the explanation there. You're the last defender. And you're not in front in any sort of legal guarding position.
Got to credit Justin for going deep down his bench to keep fresh bodies out here. If we're going to have a track meet, he threw out Daniel Greeter for a couple of minutes, Mason Peatley for a few minutes, and they took Ben Henshall out of the game for that third quarter. Still on 21 points. And if they get their noses in front, Pete.
This is what you spoke about. Can Perth keep it up? Right now, this is right where Illawarra want to be. You want to have it in a track meet? No worries. We're conditioned for this for 40 minutes.
Rolling with the turnaround. It's an 11-3 run for the Hawks right now. Big move late in the third quarter. Henshall passes for Wagstaff inside.
Old school pick and roll. Jesse sets the ball screen, slips, gets himself an easy deuce. I thought Johnny really was rolling the dice, having Doolittle and Pender off at the same time. Maybe just resting him for the last quarter.
Harvey with the floater from beyond the free throw line.
Good grief. Exquisite float game.
He does it like no other.
Really smart just there from Hiram Harris, just not touching the ball until the shot clock matched the game clock.
Last look of the term belongs to Perth. They led by as much as 11 in this term. They are watching it dwindle away.
Too aggressive, Wani.
It's only the second team foul.
Ben Henshall has not scored in the third quarter. Wani Swaka the bullet. He's the padlock.
He is taking a scalp of a youngster. But it's still 10 minutes to go, and I'm sure Benny got a few more threes in him.
One of the leading contenders for Defensive Player of the Year so far. He's doing a job in the third quarter. 5.9 seconds left. Henshall. Pete! Ask and you shall receive. We hadn't seen Ben Henshall for all of the third quarter, and he reminds us just how much of an offensive threat he is. 89-83 off the Amy replay. He shot it like he meant it.
Everyone else get off the court. Let's go Henshall versus Hickey, one-on-one king of the court, because Henshall steps up big once again. He's only bucking for the third quarter, but it was a pretty one. Perth up 6.
89-83. Do not go anywhere, because this one is going to go all the way to the end. fun continues at RAC Arena. It's 89-83 as we get set to start the last quarter. Ben Henshall draining a big one late to give Perth a 6-point lead.
Just when they kept him quiet for all of 9 minutes and 52 seconds, Benny reminded him just who he is.
Still the game's leading scorer with 24 points. But credit to Wani Swakala-Bullock for 9 minutes and 55 seconds of that third quarter. He locked him away.
You can't rest for a second on scores. When was the last time a team lost when they made 16 threes and it's still a quarter to go? This is just outrageous.
Winlet, Henshall, Hiram, Harris, Wagstaff, and Withers the five out there for Perth. Days, Hickey, Swakala-Bullock, Froling, Blanchfield, the former Wildcat for Illawarra. Winlet got busy on Darius Days. Pete Hooley's nodding his head.
So I'm talking about, I think there's more to his offensive package than just a step back three ball. There's Darius Days. We haven't seen a whole lot of him.
This is two contrasting scores guarding each other. Darius got some old school bully ball type stuff down low. Dylan's more cagey, a little slippery on the perimeter. Who can impose whose will on the other?
Here we go.
Illawarra won all 3 games last season against Perth by margins of 16, 18, and 18. We have to do this one the hard way tonight. Will Hickey was the spark in the third quarter. Now has a career high 20 points. Blanchfield.
Should have cared a little bit more about that floater in the end. It's going to need 2 shots.
Todd Withers not happy with the call. That's his third. He'll come out, Keanu Pinder back into the game. Christian Doolittle also in for Perth as Jesse Wagstaff sits down.
For these last 9 minutes, I mean, I can't leave. I'm not going to leave Doolittle and Keanu Pinder on the bench for any more of this game, Pete. I just can't afford to.
Can't come into their space.
I think Justin Tatum on the other side is thinking as well. Only a couple more minutes for his superstars. Get Tyler Harvey back in the game.
They've obviously got this game at hand to deal with. Perth come to Melbourne to play Southeast Melbourne on Sunday. We don't see Illawarra, Doolittle draws contact. We don't see the Hawks until the following Sunday in Adelaide. So they've now, after tonight, they've got a week to rest. Whereas Perth will be on the plane first thing tomorrow morning.
We're going to talk about travel around you-know-who.
No, that's true. That's true.
Don't care. Gray hair, don't care. Christian Doolittle going to the middle, one dribble, 2 dribble pull-ups, and he just elevates.
Gets through spot.
It's just about an unstoppable shot.
Oh, gets through spot all the time.
The same kind of shot a certain sideline reporter down there I'm trying to get to put in her game.
He's averaging 10.9 rebounds a game. He's one of 3 players in the league, alongside Jack White and Montrezl Harrell.
He's going to take a dip at that tonight. He's only got 2 boards. Hasn't been that many rebounds up for grabs, to be fair.
Picking down at the bottom of the net. Ryan Harris with a 5-on-4 up ahead. He had the right idea. Execution wasn't there, though.
That was up high. Lucky that. I've seen worse calls go unsportsmanlike. You don't want to be racking up too many early fouls, too, this early in the fourth quarter. Could become a free throw shooting contest late in the game.
93-86, Annalie Maley.
The mid-range is not dead. It's the best shot in basketball. David tells me all the time.
And Christian Doolittle got one of the best ones in the league.
Surprised you're not talking about free throws, Damon.
How much time you got? We can talk about it.
It's there on YouTube. It's also Damon's screensaver on his phone. It's pass. Slightly off for Darius Days, who had to go and find it. Got it back and scored.
He's been great. He called for more Darius Days action, and he's delivered. He looks ultra aggressive here in the fourth quarter. 9 points now, 5 rebounds.
And you know what was good about that, Pete? Tyler Harvey comes off like he's going to come off a Darius Days screen, but he sets the back pick, and they're hugging him, so now Darius gets a free run to the basket on Hiram Harris. Because Hiram ain't the guy that you just want to fight in the block.
Oh, a little too far forward about what Illawarra could build. And Tyler Harvey gets his Australian citizenship, and they've got this core they continue to roll over and free up another import spot. Goodness me.
On top of the table now, 6-2 for the season. Windler from long range, and I mean long range.
Wow, that's deep water, that's stroke. Is there anything to not like about it, Pete?
This is what he can do. This is what he's shown a lot.
5 made threes for Dylan Windler. Tyler Harvey at the other end.
Well, that's probably the worst thing you can do is knock down a big 3 ball, have a little celebration, and then go under a guy by the name of Tyler Harvey.
It's a shootout at RAC Arena, and Ben Henshall, if there's a shootout going on, he wants to slice the action.
We are going to 110.
Here we go, guys.
All right, I'm going to need somebody to tell me when's the last time 2 teams scored over 100, Pete, in the same game.
I think I've just got these stats written down on my palm.
You the stats guy. I'd love to be a referee for just one day. One day.
He's seen the foul on that. That's why I told him don't worry about it. It's his call. He's saying I wasn't even involved during that one. The screen was here. We get the ball. He shoves it, and we get hit. It's not staying solid. It's not like when you called the screen on Swat when he blew through, which he did foul. All right, but when we come in, they give us an extra.
All right, thank you.
Then I know. You're welcome.
So I don't mind those interactions, all right? When you're trying to explain something and call it, going back through this game when I watched the replay, both coaches probably should have been tossed by now.
How many explanations do you want in a game of basketball?
Well, this is what we spoke about. I think when they go back and look at it, going forward, it's got to be as simple as if something crosses the line, it's a warning. Doesn't matter what time of the game it is. And then there's just a technical. For every single coach in the league, hold everyone accountable, set a tone.
I think we can do without some of that stuff. Wildcats by 7. Harvey drags his ball back out, guarded by Windler. Still trying to create. Found the roller. Beautiful, patient offense from the Hawks.
Dylan Windler saw that play coming for Tyler Harvey. Did a good job fighting over that screen, but Tyler is so herky-jerky, he still made a play.
Taylor Hickey staying vertical.
Here's Harvey, feet set. He left that one short. Nice work from Darius Days. The Hawks can try and get a little closer. 5 is the deficit right now. Hickey pulls the trigger.
Have the Hawks led at any stage in this game, Jack?
Opening bucket, and then the last time they led it, the score was 6-4. Pinder flashes to the basket.
I haven't seen a heap of Keanu Pinder, but we haven't had to. It's just his 12th point, 5 of 9. All 5 starters for Perth. Sorry, all of the 5 starters in double figures. Ty Webster's the other one in double figures for Perth.
Why do we stop it now? Hey, punch straight. Punch straight.
The tons up for the Wildcats. Illawarra not too far behind them.
Missy said first to 100, but both these teams got at least another 10 to 15 points left in them. The best action I like so far in the half-court set, Pete, is that little 2-man game on the wing. Quick little dribble handoff and then slip. Keanu's got a layup out of it already.
On their last 4 games on the road, Illawarra. This is a big test for them now. Harvey's got 20. Down to Olbrich, who had to fight for that position on the low block. Now it's plan B for the Hawks. Late clock, Swarkle a bullet. Olbrich kicks it back out, and they start again. Harvey on the move. Make that 22.
Easy, man. She's been so quiet about it too. 9 of 12. He's super efficient, just going about his business, and Illawarra are just hanging around. We knew they would.
Webster tried the extra pass. It's batted out of play.
Good job
6 seconds left on the clock.
And good job by Wani, because normally when Christian Doolittle gets those 2 power dribbles, get him to the key, that's a pull-up jumper, but Wani did a good job fighting him, not making it easy.
Harvey, Hickey, Swarkalavoy, Froling, and Oldbrook out there for Illawarra. Webster, Doolittle, Henshall, Pinder, and Pepper for the home team.
Don't get comfortable over there, Dylan.
He's kept alive, but given straight back with Pepper. Snuck up from behind and stole it away for an easy Ty Webster score. Some sweat on the floor. Every single play means so much right now.
It is still 5 minutes to go. I mean, Perth turned the ball over on the baseline. Davo gets his pocket picked. You just chalk that up to one of those things, but you got to take care of the ball in this situation.
Some sweat on the floor. Annalie Maley.
Guys, I'd like a flex cam watch on just the coaching staff on either side. The assistant coaches are going off with different types of celebrations, all crazy flexes.
It's all on the line right now. Froling and Pinder, the battle resumes. A little win for Pinder.
Even there you see, County Pinder's going to try and give him that drop step to go over his left shoulder. But he gets deep enough, he's going to 100% turn to that left shoulder and just finish with the right. He's really patient when he gets that deep, Sam Froling.
Off the inbound. He can't score. Bit of holding going on underneath. Webster calls for calm. But only for a moment. It hasn't been that sort of game. There has been no calm. Here is Webster in the corner. Loose ball falls to the Wildcats. Pepper the beneficiary.
Good scrap by Christian Doolittle. Keeping it alive and then finding a very opportunistic Elijah Pepper underneath the basket. That's a big 7-point lead.
11 points now for Pepper. The 6th Wildcat in the double figures. Finding different ways. Harvey changed his mind late. Costly decision.
Timeout.
6 unanswered points for the Wildcats, and Justin Tatum calls for time.
The Hawks simply, Pete, cannot defend well enough to win this game. Yes, I know the game isn't over, but Perth can get anything they want. They're capitalizing off turnovers. They're hitting the 3 ball. They're getting out in transition. The Hawks are starting to press a little bit. I didn't think they could maintain this for 4 quarters, but they proved me wrong. And it is hard to lose with 106 points on the board with just under 4 to go.
They've been terrific. The equal opportunity offense, and you told me off air they're a much better team without Bryce Cotton, and we're starting to see it.
Blasphemous. Jot that one down. 106.97.
Where's that bus?
6 Perth Wildcats players in double figures.
Let's go, guys.
3:49 remaining at RAC Arena. Here is the Amy replay. Little dime from Elijah Pepper.
A little saucy on the rookie. But what won't show up in that highlight on the Amy replay is Ty Webster's tremendous defensive effort on Tyler Harvey. That caused the turnover. They're in the box seat. Can they get enough stops or just tick the scoreboard over like they've done all game long?
They need stops now.
That helps.
What they don't need is turnovers, Illawarra. Darius Days reels that in. Eventually finds his way through the congestion. Swarkle a bullet.
Block.
There's called for the charge. And to rub salt into the wounds, Doolittle swats that thing out of there. Now Bryce Cotton's getting involved. Wani Swarkle-Bullock over there at the Wildcats bench.
They're old friends.
Yeah, he was outside the charge circle.
It's a great take. Oh, got there so quick and just established position. Not often you see a jump stop to get into that position. Normally you see a stride stop where it's 1-2 and you're kind of dragging that foot, still moving. That was pretty smart from Elijah Pepper.
Fresh out of college, that's what they do in college these days.
They're in a winning position right now, Perth. They're scoring at one end and getting stops at the other. The challenge is back on the Hawks, and it's got to start at this end of the floor.
Perth doing this damage without Ben Henshall as well.
Doolittle's turn to get busy. Foul with 0.9 left on the shot clock.
They got good chemistry, how they working together. Okay, you got to find ways, obviously, without Bryce out there on the floor, and they have. They getting comfortable with each other. We're watching it happen right now. Todd Withers just kind of floats around, makes little plays here and there. But Keanu and Christian Doolittle are developing a very nice chemistry between the two of them.
The only number you need to look at to how well they're playing without Bryce Cotton and how they're doing it, they've got 25 assists on 37 made field goals. And that right there was nothing ending in that play. But Pinder put his head on the rim and he was rewarded with that. Everybody's just playing unselfish. Everyone's playing together, knowing they have to do it by committee without their four-time MVP.
25 assists for the game, Perth, on 37 makes.
Grab the ball and he saves it. It's a reset.
Davo, you're getting a new shot clock. It's great for you, okay? Backcourt.
The explanation there, full possession was gained by Ty Webster, so it's a reset for the Hawks, rather than just having 6 seconds left and having a tee off from deep.
Hey, be up. We're up here.
Fresh clock for Illawarra. 2 minutes 30 remaining at RAC Arena. Darius Days wide open.
Another good move has been, you expect the game's leading scorer, Ben Henshall, to be on the floor right now, but Todd Withers is doing a great defensive job on Hickey with his size.
Webster likes that little step back. He likes it a whole lot right now.
Good night. I'm calling it. Perth are getting whatever they want. Oh, wait a minute.
Just relax.
Recall that. Sorry, just got a little excited.
Still that man, Tyler Harvey, still exists.
He's got 25, Tyler Harvey. He's with us, been doing all the work at the defensive end, throws up an air ball. Wildcats reset. Pinder deep on the three.
This will make it interesting. Tyler Harvey's trying to trail.
Ty's hurt.
Red 25. Block the cutter.
Ty went and got that massive offensive rebound. Saw him calling for a sub. Something I don't believe in, but he obviously got banged up a little bit. Dylan Windler checks back in for the last 90 seconds.
Darius Days sits down.
Ben Henshall come in. They're going to play smaller. Switch 1 through 5, so Henshall's come in for Pinder. Pinder's a bit confused. How about that? That's the right sub.
Couple of different looking lineups. Ulbrich drops that off for Hwan Jung Lee, who's fouled and one.
You got to make sure there are no and ones, Pete. You got to have some professional fouls where it's either going to be 2 free throws and that's it, but it can't be 3-point plays in this situation.
Just the 4 points tonight to Hwan Jung Lee. He's a little quiet last week as well against Southeast Melbourne.
This is Jason Tatum's sniper lineup to try to get back in this game, having H.J. Lee out there with Blanchfield and Tyler.
A 94% free throw shooter on the season. Cuts that one back to 5. Wildcats navigate their way through.
1-2-5! 1-2-5!
Henshall, again happy to absorb that shot clock. Windler this time, ball on the floor. Withers soars over the top. Huge from Todd Withers.
Now you can go, Damon.
It's over. I'm calling it.
Albrecht turns the corner. That's impressive from the youngster.
That doesn't change my mind. Todd Withers wasn't even on the team to start the season. Talk about a key contributor.
He's got 8 points, but he's so much more than that. His defensive effort on Hickey, one-on-one. Tyler Harvey and Dago Hickey have 45 between them on 20 of 47 from the field. I'm sorry, 20 of 27. It's outrageous shooting.
You get screwed in again.
And you lose because you give up 111 and then in plus, possibly.
RAC Arena stands as one.
Are they allowed out of the coach's box? You've been telling our guys to sit down all night. That guy's out of his coaching box and not even the head coach. Who's taking the two?
Justin Tatum and John really have spent a lot of time worrying about what each other's
I know
doing
this
tonight.
game's almost over, but again, it's not. They're not. Let's set that time. Let's just give them an official warning. If they haven't had an official warning, if they have, then tee them up.
Walk
It's
away.
been going on all game.
Ref, walk away. Just get away from him. Just.
But if I'm John, really, you've got this game in the bag. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you what, an accidental turnover here.
We've seen some crazy inbound passes.
They fixed the score. It's a 5-point ball game. That's what I'm talking about now. So imagine a turnover here and then you say the wrong thing and you've just annoyed the ref.
Hey, you can come to your bench if you want to. Just got to stay on the court.
Just as we check the score,
all right, here we go. We're ready now.
We've seen some teams have trouble inbounding the basketball this season.
Ain't that the truth? It ain't easy in 2024.
Extended pressure from the Illawarra Hawks with Perth. Get beyond halfway, Pepper. Here's Withers and they call for calm. They use every single second available.
Don't need a foul now if you're Illawarra. Just play it straight up.
Oh.
You've taken that long on the shot clock and you see all the coaches' hands up. That's just a rookie error by Lockie Albrecht. You're either going to try and get one trap and if not, foul straight away, or just play the possession up.
Hey, you know who we got out here? You remember what we had last game? They couldn't wait to get us again.
We're going to take the mics off the coaches. We're going to take the mics off. Turn the mic off.
He was saying earlier that he says I'm allowed to talk to my players. When you're clearly talking to your players about the referees, they hear that too. They're right there.
12 points for Elijah Pepper. Another who's enjoying the extended minutes and the extended opportunity.
Very bright future. Obviously, Ben Henshall is probably off to greener pastures possibly, but Elijah Pepper, Michael Harris didn't get any playing time today, but that future backcourt is bright in Perth.
The Tangerine timeout called by the Hawks. 113 to 105. 31 seconds left. Is there one late twist in this thing?
I think that might be it, Jack. What was the highest score of any team I won even last year? I don't recall a 113-point game that didn't go into double overtime.
Here's what's to come tomorrow. The Breakers and the 36ers. This one might be a hard act to follow for all of these teams. And then the Taipans and the Bullets on Saturday night at the Cairns Convention Centre.
Yeah, they always go off in Spark Arena. New Zealand kind of hard to get a read on them guys right now. They lose what they shouldn't lose and win ones that you didn't think they would win. And then obviously the Sunshine Stoush. We'll see how stoushy it gets, Pete. What are you doing on that day, Pete? Any plans?
Yeah, enjoying some doubleheader hoops.
Justin Tatum has been very agitated at times tonight.
No part of your body can come over the line, so don't reach out, okay?
31 seconds to play. Hawks need a quick score. One Jung Lee couldn't get the shot away. Great D from Windler. Closed him down and blocked the shot. The Wildcats are going to be winners tonight on their home floor. And they deserve every single bit of credit that is about to come their way. They went punch for punch all night long. And when it mattered most, the Wildcats landed the biggest blow of the lot. 113 to 105 in an old-fashioned shootout at RAC Arena.
You don't get many shootouts in NBL 24, but it was good to see one and thoroughly deserved. Send Jesse Wagstaff off with a good win. Not sending him off, but you know what I mean. Celebrating his milestone. Led by the young brigade of Ben Henshall. Humongous win. Don't think if you can come to Perth without Bryce Cotton, it's going to be light work for you because you got your hands full.
The highest scoring game of the NBL 25 season so far, and it's the third time that Illawarra have had games where both teams have scored 100 plus. There's your Foot Locker player of the game, and a great story to come out of tonight as well. Ben Henshall is part of this Perth Wildcats team who have got a lot to smile about. We're going to come back and wrap it up on the other side of this. It's Friday Night Hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Perth Wildcats make it 4-4 on the season. A big win tonight at home at RAC Arena. 113 to 105 over the Illawarra Hawks. And all smiles for Jesse Wagstaff in a games record equaling night. What a game.
Wow. Congrats to Jesse. Congrats on the Wildcats. Well-deserved win. Anytime you score 113 points, you better win.
Incredible game, Pete.
It was fun to watch. And again, shout out Ben Henshall and Dave O'Hickey, two of the young stars of the competition, stepped up big.
We'll see the Wildcats on Sunday against Southeast Melbourne, and we'll see you tomorrow for a Saturday night doubleheader. It's the Wildcats winners tonight. We'll catch you tomorrow in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.